Well, here I'm back in the spot. I'm gonna be putting a blind right in there and then brushing it in, basically with a lot of the different stuff I've cut off. Last episode of our web show, I kind of went through what I was planning on doing, basically just, cutting some of this area out, opening it up a bit, putting the blind here so I can kind of hit all these main trails. I've since sprayed this, and I'm going to be putting a food plot in here in the next week, put some real world, just something to draw them in. I got clover all around this, but I wanted to have something to put these deer in front of this blind, and that's what I'm going to use my food plot. You can see I got some beautiful clover down there and variety of different stuff. I'm going to put some real world, they call it Deadly Dozen, but essentially it's a harvest salad with a plot topper, and there's about, I think 12 different seeds or something like that. So I've got a lot of work to do. My goal, I think, is I'm going to get the blind in there first, and then that'll give me a much better idea of where I need to trim, because I have a big lane I got to cut through here yet, and I don't want to trim it until I get the blind set up, my chairs in there, kind of see what, get everything oriented on what the realistic shot's going to look like. All right, it actually fits in there perfect, like it was made for it. So now I got to secure it down. I'm going to tie it to those trees most likely, and maybe put 1 or 2 stakes in, and then start figuring out how in the heck I'm going to trim it, baby. That's going to suffice. I can almost see all the way to the trail, and that's all I could ask for. So, see what it looks like when I get inside, but that's where I'm going to stop. And now I'm going to start brushing the blind in.
When it comes to ground blind setups, I've learned quite a bit over the years. Basically, if a deer can avoid being in front of a blind or around one, they will. You have to give them a reason to want to be there. In this case, I'm using a community scrape as the center point and a small-sized kill plot to suck them in.
I'm going to basically give you a little tour of how I'm going to get into this spot. I can come down on this bottom field and then sneak right through this field edge, and here we go. Is that wicked rat or what? I can sneak right to the back of the blind, and you can see behind me here, everything's really, really well covered. So here in this main plot, I can sneak in, get on my hands and knees, get in the blind, even if there are deer right out there. And the big thing is ground scent is all in these pines. I'll hunt this with the wind basically in front of the blind here and into the blind, and a lot of work. All these access points and all that are so much more work than people think or realize, I guess. But I want to be able to sneak in here and get it done. And part of it's just building the confidence, knowing that you can get away with it. Welcome to the jungle. This is a spot I've been waiting to come and scout, figure out for quite some time now. It's hard to give you all a general idea, but you can kind of see right down here, everything goes down to this bottom. And there's several ravines that come from all directions. There's a big doe bedding area up on top over here, and I'm standing right at the base of another big bedding area. And years past, I'd actually had a stand right in the bottom here, and I had a perfect trail going into it and everything. It was just the perfect setup, and it was perfect until Kyle and I came in here. We snuck right down this trail, right just 30-40 yards from the tree, and a deer blew right here, and we weren't even moving when it happened. So he watched us walk down this main trail that I had mowed in or cut in years ago. So the deer have taken over that trail, and where he was set up looking for danger, where other hunters are coming in, and where the does are coming through between these bedding areas. And this is the perfect spot, this knob, to be bedded on. So we couldn't even tell what he was when he blew out of here, but when we got right down below here, I could smell him. And it smelled like a big, dominant, mature buck. And he was definitely bedded right here. So That's something I've learned over the years. That intel you've got to convert into your following season, and boy, it would be nice to just, well, I'm close enough because that's where that buck's bedded. I'm just going to stay and keep hunting the same stand that's all trimmed out, but I don't think I can kill him there because he's got my number. You know, I hear a lot of guys talk about buck beds and buck bedding areas, but the honest to God truth is, until you put some time in the field and hunting in these particular areas, sometimes, you know, you got to screw up and blow them out and monitor activity throughout the year. And I've also got trail cameras running in this area. So right up in here someplace, he beds right on this knob, and it's a perfect spot. So it's kind of open up in this top side. This is where I would imagine he's bedded, right along this thick edge up top, where he still has a nice view of everything below. You can see it's a little more open. So I've been looking at this spot for a long time. Now I just have to figure out how to do it. And that's never easy. You gotta have a tree that has enough cover. The tree's got to be in the right spot for wind, anticipated wind, where this buck's gonna be bedded, and I don't want to have to completely destroy the area in order to accomplish the task. That's my motto this year: is take it easy, don't go crazy, don't ruin the spot before you've even hunted it just by over trimming it. I think I got my tree picked out, that right there, because it's next to this big pine tree. I'm thinking I can use that pine up here, yada yada, up here someplace. It's basically cover, like position my stand toward it. From this direction, I mean, there's just no, from this direction over here, I am going to be sitting duck. Everywhere else it's not too bad, but this is just a spot. It's going to be tough not to get pegged. All right, plan B. That tree ain't going to work. I can't get up. I just can't do it. It's too wide open. By the time I get done trimming out and stuff, it's gonna be a mess. So I'm gonna go up this one right here, adjacent to it. Probably gonna be more trimming, more of a pain in the neck, but what else do you do? That's all I know to do. I'm gonna give you a little tour here. Nice lane right there. I'm gonna finish trimming this out. Get a lane running down through there. Here, here. Way up into there. Got a hole right there. Hole right here. Hole right here behind me. And you can see the bigger end coming down, but this is where I think I can kill one. Where this tree stand's set up, it's specifically set up for buck bedding area. And when I sneak in here, I gotta be able to get in here dead quiet, get within 60 yards of a bedded buck. That's where I'd plan on bedding, right on one of these knobs. One way, he's gonna bust me. The other way, if he did what he was doing last year, and I anticipate him not to change. Goal is hopefully be able to call him out or catch him coming in and out of his bed. But all this extra effort is basically done. You can believe it. Only plan on hunting the stand once or twice this whole season. And I added up, by the time it was all said and done, probably like 8 to 10 hours in this set, and I'll spend less than that in it. But there's just no other way to do it. Now if you want to hunt individual buck beds, you can run and gun and all that, but this stuff's so thick. I'm basically just planning on that buck being there. And if he's not, then I'll move to a different spot where I know he might be. So, but I think this is a good spot. Super thick. See behind me. Type of place you'll catch a mature buck. What a beautiful day. We finally got some nice rain here. I was actually out here tilling until about 10 o'clock at night the other night, trying to beat the rain in to get my last plot here done. And I missed it, but we finally have some beautiful moisture-filled soil for the first time in a long time. So I'm gonna get this knocked out. I pretty much did most of the work the other night doing the rough till. Now I'm just doing the final till, going around, busting it down one last time. Then I'm gonna drag it, seed it, and then cultivate. Finished product right here. This is about a 2/3 acre plot, give or take. I got some real world harvest salad with plot topper on top and a bunch of fertilizer. So everything's been cultipacked. You can see it's really, really nice seed bed. One more to go, baby. One more, and then I'm done for the year, hopefully.
Thanks for watching this week's White Knuckle Web Show. Next time around, I continue hammering out buck bedding area stands and whatever it takes. I started using Kuntz Engineering equipment 3 years ago, and it's still going strong. If you know anything about how I use equipment, that's truly saying something. The Kuntz Cultipacker is another fantastic tool for hunters and small plot farmers alike. Like anything Kuntz Engineering makes, it's built for a lifetime of use and abuse. You won't believe what a difference cultipacking your food plots will make, and Kuntz is the only one I'd ever use. It's available in a 48 and 72-inch width, and also has a wheel kit available that allows you to easily transport it wherever you need it to go. I've proven the effectiveness of Kuntz Engineering equipment in more ways than one over the years. I've used them to help me create the food plots that have enabled us to harvest more big bucks on plots than I would have ever imagined. If you invest in a piece of equipment in the near future, don't waste your hard-earned money on junk equipment that just doesn't get the job done. Buy Kuntz, buy for life.